Welcome to Reclaimed Heritage,
a place where we discuss traditional skills for the practical home.
We're your hosts, Christy,
Kari,
and Elaine.
Like the process of sprouting grains, fermentation of milk results in numerous beneficial changes. Fermentation breaks down casein, or milk protein, one of the most difficult proteins to digest. Culturing restores many of the enzymes destroyed during pasteurization, including lactase, which helps digest lactose or milk sugar, and numerous enzymes, which help the body absorb calcium and other minerals. Lactase produced during the culturing process allows many people who are sensitive to fresh milk to tolerate fermented milk products. Both vitamin B and vitamin C content of milk increase during fermentation. Excerpt from Nourishing Traditions by Sally Fallon.
welcome back. And today we are going to be talking about all things dairy. We don't have a very specific focus other than the majority of us use pasteurized milk and how you can utilize that in your own home and make it a little bit healthier versus some of the dairy options at the grocery store. So it's a little overarching topic, but nothing super specific today. We're going to follow it up with an episode on raw dairy, which has made dairy more pertinent for all of us.
Yes.
The three of us have recently switched to raw dairy, and this has opened up like floodgates of things that we've been making and a lot of information that we've acquired. But today we're going to stick mainly with
things you can do to better your pantry at home, whether it's
easy
raw or
from the grocery store. And I was just thinking, speaking of our milk, so I'm late picking up my milk. We normally do pick up on Thursday.
We're all late. We are
been a
all
week.
late. It is all of our milk is sitting in a refrigerator.
Yes.
With our names
from
on
our
them.
with our herd share,
they'll know.
and
Right.
yeah.
It's very indicative of the week that we have all had. I didn't even get through. So we normally fly through our milk, but I always like pull the cream off the top to do things with. And I didn't even get into the third gallon. So normally that's gone like 4 days into the week, and I still have a gallon sitting in a refrigerator that hasn't been processed yet for us.
Yeah.
And it's just been a week where I've been gone more than I'm home, and it's not good.
I haven't set any aside to make communion bread yet, and I'm afraid it's.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to need to pick up my milk in order to make communion bread. It's gonna be,
So what I'm hearing is after we're done recording this, we're following each other to the farm
the convoy.
to pick up our milk.
We are, and then I'm racing home to do all the things, laundry,
Same.
lots of laundry.
Same.
Yeah, I want to be able to rest well tomorrow evening and Sunday, which means
We're
making up for
celebrating.
my week.
Yeah, my husband's birthday tomorrow night, so everybody
that's
will be
awesome.
there, and we'll be cooking for a crowd.
Fun.
Do you know what you're making?
He requested tacos, so we are going to do tacos. But then we did go out with friends last night, and he was eyeing the like loaded tater tot appetizer. So I thought I may add tater tots to it, so he can do like taco tater tots.
That is so your husband.
yeah,
I love loaded tater tots.
yeah.
They're just, in fact, Sunday after church, this coming Sunday, we are doing a taco or a potato bar.
Yeah.
So there will be
Yeah.
loaded tater tots.
I think he'd appreciate them all to himself, like no judgment.
Yeah. Yes. I will have to remember to hide the bacon again so that
You did good.
when we
You
when
had
the
it was
adults
up
go
high.
through.
It had like a little towel on it.
We had to alert all the men.
The bacon is there. Don't tell the boys.
Because inevitably we have a 10-year-old boy who's always like, also today for lunch,
Yes.
I'm having bacon.
The median age of our church is like what, 10 or 12 years old. So
And as they're spooning, they're going, I'm on keto. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Liar.
Yes. Yeah, so it worked out well. We'll have to do it. But I am excited for our fellowship meal this week. It's, I do love all things potatoes. Yum.
And I feel like one of the traditional skills we need to work on this week is being home so we can be practical in our homes.
I know.
no wandering feet.
Yes. Yeah, no, definitely being home. It makes a huge difference in all of our rhythms and routines. I have a planner that's worthless when I'm not home.
That's right.
So,
Be home more.
Planning and no execution was this week, and I'm feeling it.
Same.
Yeah.
Because we were at some of the same places.
We were. We were together
And
a lot.
it's not even summer yet. Forget when the warm weather comes.
Yeah.
All the things were good.
Yes,
Just maybe
everything
not
was good.
jam-packing so many things into 1 week is the plan.
Well, we also had really warm weather. Yeah, we had really warm weather this week. It was like 60, almost 70 or something crazy.
Yes.
So
And then snow this morning. So
I know.
yeah.
But that's what happens. We get the warm weather and I'm like, everything outside with all of the people and all of the friends. And then I come home and I'm exhausted and don't want to
Speaking of all
my
the
daily
people and
work.
all the friends, our young men and dads were on this treacherous hike this morning. And when the fact that we had, what was it yesterday? Almost
It was 60.
which day was it? It's like 70 degrees.
I think the day before. I think it was.
Wednesday.
All right. So my boys are thinking like, this is going to be awesome. And then this morning there's snow covering things. And it was 25 degrees?
Yeah.
And they're out there venturing off to do 20-mile hike.
As they're getting ready, Michael's like, I'm bringing shorts. And I'm like, are you bringing pants? He's like, yeah, I'll put the pants on in the beginning, but really I'm wearing shorts. And then all day today, I'm thinking, okay, first of all, he probably is still wearing shorts because that's how they roll.
Well, he's
It's the
But
teenage
at least
boy.
he has
It's not even cold out here.
but I mean, they are
know.
working a sweat.
Yes,
that's
true.
Yeah. I don't know how it went yet. My husband sent me one text. It said, it hurts. That's what I got from my husband. So whatever they're doing, it hurts.
Yeah. I predict lots of sleepy
Yes.
teenagers. And
It'll be great.
dads
Yeah.
and all of the things.
Hungry and then
Hungry.
sleepy.
Right.
Yeah,
So we
more
need to
like
go get the milk. Bring
some
home the
grizzly
milk.
bears.
Yeah, they'll down the milk. Anyways, all right, so moving into dairy. So prior to our raw milk adventures, I had attempted to make some regular stuff at home. I don't know about you ladies.
Oh, yeah.
You've done, I know, Elaine, you've done yogurt. Have you done yogurt, Christy? Okay, this
Crock
totally
pot,
like jumping right
no,
in. Yeah,
you're
how
gonna-
did you make it? Because mine says
And
push
I know,
the
you
yogurt button
press
on my
that nice
We
little
like
button.
the instant pot.
I just do it in jars in the crock pot with water
in
and
jars?
yeah,
Interesting.
small
Okay.
jelly jars.
Wow.
It reminds me of, we used to have this little contraption that we purchased when our family was tiny, and it was jars inside of this thing that kept it like at the right temperature.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess
Yeah.
it's mimicking that
Yeah.
same thing, but on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Because you can buy a yogurt maker. They're not super
Yeah, that's what this was. the yogurt
inexpensive, but
maker.
yeah. So you could do a yogurt maker. All the instant pots that are out now
Have the yogurt
have the
option.
yogurt option, which is easy. And then it sounds like you could still
Yeah.
old school it with a crock pot.
I am very old school. I do not like all the gadgets. I just got an
Okay,
air
but-
fryer. We used it like 4 times and it's
Yeah.
downstairs in the basement.
Air
again.
fryer. But the
Yeah.
instant pot, we will if we can
Right.
if we can convert Kari to an iPhone, we can
Oh my
convert you to an instant pot.
Hopefully you'll be more joyful about your transition
I don't know.
than I was about mine.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so yogurt.
Right.
What do you need to make the yogurt? You need a starter. How do you get the starter?
Okay, so I bought mine on Amazon. I bought the live cultured starter to do it.
Right.
But now, if my memory serves me correct, the first time I made it, I didn't do that other than I literally bought, I think, Greek yogurt at the grocery store.
Right.
And used the Greek yogurt from the grocery store as my starter. So really, you just need a small amount of a live culture.
Right. You need to make sure it says active culture on the container.
This is how long ago
Yeah.
I did it. I did it in Mother Earth News. Somebody wrote an article and I sent an envelope to them.
That is so
Self-addressed,
funny.
And they sent yogurt starter back.
If my son were here, you know what he would say. Back in the 1900s.
Yes. But that's what I did back in the day.
Okay, so you can order a starter,
Last
but you
century.
can just go and get yogurt at the store, which is the
Yes.
only way I've ever done it.
Yeah.
Is
Okay,
with
yeah.
it needs to be plain. It can't be peach
No.
flavor, active culture,
Yep.
and
I mean, figure out the quantity that you want. You want
Right.
like half gallon or a gallon. you're just adding it. I mean, go online, you guys, because the ratios are a little bit different. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure it's like 2 tablespoons to a half gallon is pretty normal. You don't want to add too much, and you don't want to add too little. So look it up online. Like I said, on the Instant Pot, you just push the yogurt button and it's magic. We know people who like to make it a lot longer, so they use their Instant Pot, but they increase their time. You're going to get a
consistency.
Consistency
you just kind of judge
also
it by
the
that.
straining too.
Yeah.
But it has to do with like the flavor, like how much lactic acid that you want to build in your time frame will determine like the tanginess.
Yeah.
Also, so play around with it. It's not that hard. The reason we're suggesting this is because yogurt is so popular, and it's crazy to me when you go there, and of course they're all brightly colored, and my kids want to buy all the fruity yogurt. And I was looking it up today. I mean, I knew it had a lot of sugar, but they were saying like the average yogurt, even ones that aren't marketed to children. So like, I'm not going to say the brands, but the big brands that you go and you're going to pick up strawberry yogurt, has 25 grams of sugar, which is like 6.5 teaspoons of sugar in
That's
a serving.
outrageous.
It's more than candy. So you think you're giving your family this thing that is healthy, but
in lieu of cereal, right? Because it's and you think, oh, we'll put some healthy granola on top, which then if you start looking,
sugar on sugar. Down that rabbit trail, yeah. So it just, when I looked up like the ingredients, they're talking about the quantity of sugar. Then you have high fructose corn syrup, which is way worse for you than even sugar. If it's sugar free, you have the artificial sweeteners, which brings a whole new slew of problems, including like you think you're eating the yogurt to increase your gut bacteria while you're eating the fake sugar that's actively killing or messing up your gut bacteria. It is not good. The food dies. Rarely is your strawberry yogurt pink just from strawberries. So just turn it over and look. I mean, it really is, shocking. But a lot of like the gums and things that they do use for thickeners. So even the stuff that you think is super healthy, it is not. And with the exception of your 0% Greek yogurt, pretty much across the board, that's as clean as it gets. And if you turn it over and you look at your ingredient list, you should be able to tell pretty quickly by what's in it if it's what.
Right.
So if you're not making yogurt, that's what we would all recommend. I know, Elaine, your family like flies through.
We do.
Greek yogurt. You guys use it for
we do too, and we typically sweeten it with maple syrup or honey. Yeah. Or pineapple. Pineapple will like sweeten something up really fast.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We've done the honey and then the fresh. I mean, it really is just the fresh fruit.
If you want to mimic the store-bought yogurt, because I have children that would prefer that too, we just take the, you can get the preserves that have only their own juice in it, and you just whip that in there, and it gives that same consistency.
I thought you were going to say you served yours in like the recycled store containers, like, here you go.
I have, because I have those. There's this one brand my in-laws buy, and they're cute little glass ones, and they always give those to me, and I then put my own yogurt in them.
I think it's the OUI. It's like we maybe.
Right.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, it is French, and they are beautiful. Now, I will say, we've even gone, not that I necessarily think it's better. It's just that you can control the sugar. Like my husband loves the tart cherry Smucker. It is a natural, but it still has sugar in it. But at least when I'm adding it to the yogurt, I'm controlling exactly how much is in there, which it does not take 6.5 teaspoons of sugar to make something sweet and palatable.
Right.
I haven't had yogurt in so long that like that kind of standard yogurt. I'm curious. What you don't like? If it would be sickly sweet. But yeah, so making your own is super easy. Now, then the variation. So you, based on cook time, is whether it's going to like the tart factor, and then based on how you strain it is going to be the thickness. The thickness.
You have that neat strainer thing.
I do.
Yeah.
We will 100% link this in our show notes because
our raw milk guy told us about it.
And it is fantastic. It kind of looks like a mesh basket that you set inside of a plastic container. And I can dump my yogurt in there, put a lid on it, and stick it in the refrigerator, and then pull it out however you want. So I can keep testing the thickness. Now, I've done it with cheesecloth. That's pretty traditional and common. I would put in the cheesecloth, tie it up on my cabinet, stick it under a bowl. It's not the easiest to get in and taste, like to see the thickness without taking the whole contraption down. Okay, and then this is gross, but I have cats. And so my cats at nighttime like to get on my counters. No. It's not my favorite. Inevitably, like somebody's drinking the way. So I do love...
Glad I have never eaten yogurt at your house.
Well, it's the whey, not the yogurt. But no, this thing has been...
Sure, they left the cheesecloth alone.
It was many, many years ago.
That story is up there with cuddling with starter.
It wouldn't be us if we didn't have ooey things.
Right, true. Yes. I never tell my kids. I'm just like, no, here, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Well, we have a trick. So I like very thick yogurt, like very thick Greek style. And I have children that don't. So instead of making two different yogurts, I take my thicker yogurt and I just mix in a little bit of almond milk, because we like almond milk, in it, stir that up, and it gives that looser yogurt consistency. Yeah. So you're kind of appealing to both, whether you want the thicker or the thinner.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I was surprised how long it stays. Good. I mean, it's weeks at least weeks. I think we've done up to a month of the yogurt, and we've not had any bacterial growth or anything in it. It tastes perfectly fine. You use it in smoothies. We've served it just straight as yogurt. I have yet to do it as like frozen yogurt, but I'm sure it would be delicious.
It'd be great.
Yeah. So,
ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah, we haven't done it. I want to do it as popsicles this summer and see. Now, when I made it a while ago, I would always flavor mine. So I would flavor it while cooking by adding vanilla. So we would end up with vanilla yogurt. Like
you
plain
could
vanilla
have
we had it after
ice cream pop, like frozen yogurt pops, if you did like the jam or jelly in the top, and then
oh, you could even swirl them.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
And healthy.
Yeah.
But when we did it this time, so we'll move into the second part. So when you're making yogurt, you end up with a ton of whey and figuring out what to do with it. When I was trying to figure out what to do with it, when we transitioned into using more raw dairy, I didn't want to toss out my whey because I knew that there was...
Well, there's more expense in the raw milk. So, yeah.
Yes. Well, and
if for that reason alone, you don't want... Yeah.
Well, same thing.
Even with yours, you want to use it.
Right. Yeah. Your store-bought milk, I mean, it does have a lot of calcium, phosphorus, the B vitamins, and the whey has a lot of the protein component in it. So I found out you can use whey to replace water in anything you bake. Now, totally coincided with our sourdough explosion of all things sourdough. My family, in like blind taste tests, prefer the sourdough made with whey over water, but did not like buttermilk instead of water.
So it's funny because I used buttermilk instead of water and they loved it.
Yeah, mine didn't care for it. Now, I do think I don't know how soon after you used your buttermilk. Like my buttermilk was awfully tangy.
Mine was the next day.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was that quick. But they did prefer the whey instead of water.
So how was it different? I haven't made it with the whey. What was different about it?
So well, you're asking. I don't taste
bubbly?
it, so I don't eat it. It's extra bubbly.
Okay,
but they were saying that, which is true. When I use whey, like to feed my starter instead of water, it's so fast.
Yeah.
Same thing with the bread. The ferment is faster. The bubbles are larger. It's oddly like more hydrated. Like the bread is a little
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not as dry of a bread. So barely, but the flavor wasn't much different at all.
So
for me, it was just an easy way to use the whey, and they seemed to like it. It made me feel better.
And can't whey be used for like facial skincare? Am I right?
Shampoo. I read like some people wash their hair in it. So like I think it's a very European thing that I'd love to find out more about the benefits of using whey in skincare, but
I got to tell you, having a mindset of using everything instead of being wasteful, it's addictive.
It really
is.
Do
you know that my daughter made rice last night to go at dinner, and we always rinse our rice before we cook it because it's better that way. And then I come home and there is a mason jar full of some cloudy liquid. And I'm like, Sophia, what is this? She's like, oh, it's the rice water. It's good for your hair. And I'm like, okay, we're doing this now.
Interesting.
More jars, just more jars.
Oh my gosh, my husband.
It's good for your hair.
Are you gonna have a special fridge now for all of your
I'm actually coming out with a shampoo line called Foisy Rice Water.
Oh my God. Almost daily, my husband stands at the refrigerator and he reaches in and pulls a jar out and he goes, is this trash? And I'm like, no, it's fill in the blank. It's whey, it's buttermilk, it's cream, it's starter.
But
and he goes, it doesn't look good. And I'm like,
it's all the jars.
No, don't throw it away. Put it back. And he's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And I label none of it because I know exactly what it is.
You can write with Sharpie marker on the outside of your jar and it'll wash off. And
We're
that way
busy.
he knows.
Last week, I came up and he looks at me, he goes, I think the cream is bad. And I go, oh yeah, that's because that's buttermilk from last week.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, ew. Like, yeah.
So you could use that buttermilk in ranch dressing.
Oh yeah, I'll have to try it.
Yeah.
It would turn a little faster, but could you use the buttermilk in lieu of the mayo that I can't eat? Or would it be an addition to it?
I would try it with the sour, because you can have the sour cream, right?
I can have the sour cream,
Yeah. I would be tempted to try it.
I'll have
You
to
may
give it a
want to
whirl.
sweeten it.
Okay. Buttermilk I've had a
it'll
little
be to taste, but
harder time
Yeah.
figuring out what to do with. Because the whey is easy. I just throw it in the sourdough. Although
Well, we make pancakes.
Yeah, you do the
with
pancakes.
the buttermilk. And the buttermilk and the pancakes, what it does is that it reacts with the baking soda. So it actually makes very fluffy pancakes. Like it has like an
marinate
acid.
any kind of meat in it, and it's delicious too.
There you go.
Oh, that's a
I
good
prefer
idea.
doing pancakes.
Yeah, my girls have made the buttermilk pancakes. It's usually like can you make this when I'm not here? And I've done
Yeah, no, I've done pancakes as well.
I need to
hit
try
at our
that.
house.
I might lose some weight if I do that.
Yeah. No, I haven't done the marinating the meat. That's a good idea. I've had a really
that
hard
makes
time
sense.
using
Yeah,
the
it
buttermilk.
helps break. Yeah.
Well, I did. So the way they were saying you could boil your rice in, boil your potatoes in. We know that like a lot of people buy the powdered whey to add to smoothies, but you can just use the regular whey to add to a smoothie. Like that's your whey protein.
Okay. We eat smoothies probably 4 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
And I've been adding egg whites into to add extra protein, but it did not occur to me to add the whey.
Yeah.
I would have been putting out my face, and it could have been in the smoothies all along.
Yeah. And I do regularly. So you can add it to your compost, but a lot of times we'll give it to our dogs or our chickens, pigs.
Well, it's handy to know anyway. Just water's on the brain right now here in Ohio. So, yeah.
Okay. So is there anything else that we didn't chat about that you guys use?
As far as dairy?
Yeah,
or
for dairy. Yogurt,
Butter.
dairy.
We don't go into butter.
What else?
Butter,
yeah.
sour cream.
I've not made that.
Heavy cream, heavy whipping cream. Whip it up and put it on top of your coffee.
Yes.
Well, each one of these, we
delicious.
could do like you take a thing of heavy cream. A lot of times you just don't realize what you can do with things. So you have the heavy cream, you can put it in your
Right
coffee.
now, that's like, what, $6 for
Maybe.
a 12-ounce thing or something?
What is that, a quart? The tall, skinny one? Is that a quart? It's like $5 to $6.
But if you can get it on sale, those are things you can do.
We're currently taking our cream off of our beautiful milk that we're getting. But even why bother making whipped cream with the heavy cream? Well, you can control what's going into that. You can control what you're sweetening with. You're putting in there. There's no preservative, so it just tastes so much better.
Does taste much better.
But even we use heavy cream so often. Alfredo sauce is huge in our house. Don't buy the jars of Alfredo sauce.
No.
You literally need 3 ingredients.
Cream-based soup.
Cream-based soup.
Right now, it's still, was warm. Now it's cold again.
Yeah,
so
it
we'll
is
be
cold.
doing more soups this weekend. But yeah.
Can I talk about kefir
Of
at
course.
some point?
No, yes. You do all the kefir.
Okay, so
I've never done it.
Have you made dairy kefir?
I have.
You have? Okay.
In the 1900s.
In the 1900s. She was beside Mrs. Ingalls making dairy. Okay, but before I actually dig into that, as soon as you said dairy, I had this image in my head, and I was just laughing with my daughter in the car on the way here because, way back in the day, my husband got a part-time job on a Saturday morning working for a farm, and he was trying to learn how to milk cows and do all the farming thinking we would be able to do that, which we're not doing that right now. But just in case, skills, having practical skills, you just never know. And he got paid in raw milk and grass-fed meat, which was fantastic. So we had this abundance of this wonderful milk. And my big kids were like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that. And they used to raise their glasses and they would run around the kitchen. And Nevaeh wrote a song. I'm not going to sing the tune, but the lyrics were, milk, glorious milk, yummest to my tummis. Wait, hold on. I got to get it all down here. Wait. I wrote it down. Okay. Tummis. Milk, glorious milk, yummest for my tummis. Oh, I have to have it. How could I not want it? And they would go around just like clanging their glasses of milk. So that is the first thing I thought of when you said dairy. And I got permission from Nevaeh to share that song. She wanted me to sing the tune. I'm not doing that. I feel like it's
if anybody's going to sing it, she should be the one.
Well, it started with milk, glorious milk, and then it went on. So with that milk, we had so much milk, we started making dairy kefir. With dairy kefir, you do need to start with kefir grains. Those you cannot just go buy at the store. Okay. You're not going to have them at Walmart. You can order them. We've ordered them from Cultures for Health, which has like
That's who we do too.
An abundance. I love. But our original kefir grains, my husband knew a woman, and I believe she came over from Turkey. These grains were over 100 years old, and they were like crossed over the border during the Holocaust. Like there was so much history behind these grains. So my husband brings them home, and we have dairy kefir going, and it is amazing, and we're loving it. And one day when we were gone, our dog jumped up and ate the kefir grains.
Oh my gosh.
Ate the kefir grains. We were mortified. Thankfully, these kefir grains are still, in existence, I'm sure. We did not have the only grains. So that's how we ended up buying them for Cultures for Health. So why dairy kefir? Kefir is one of those things that you see all over the place. You can buy it in Aldi. They're usually blueberry or strawberry. The problem I have with those is, although there is good stuff in it, there's all the, like the yogurt.
Same with the yogurt, yeah.
If you look at the back of that, there is so much sugar and additives in there. So making your own dairy kefir is perfect. It is a cultured fermented milk drink. It's similar to yogurt, but more liquidy. It does taste tart, and it's sour. It's much like the yogurt. So you basically just need milk and kefir grains. You mix that together. Much like our sourdough starter, you just like loosely cover it, put it in your cabinet. We always did it for like 24 hours. The longer you do it, the stronger the taste. So if you want something mild, you just do it less, more.
And it's on your counter, not in the fridge?
You need to put it on your counter. It's just like sourdough. You're fermenting it. So it is fermented.
Okay.
Yeah, so you would do that, and then you would strain it and use it. Some of the benefits are that it's high in vitamin A, D, K, B. It's full of all that beneficial bacteria, much like many of the things we were talking about. Kombucha, exactly. So that is like super, really good for you. It's high protein. It has like a slight fizz kind of taste. But when you make it yourself, you then can add what you want into it. My daughter is currently making it. She has been using store-bought milk. So at the time when we were doing it, we were using raw milk. She's just going to Aldi, buying whole milk and making it. And she is like doing a double whammy for her husband because he likes to do a lot of protein shakes. He's doing his protein shakes with the kefir. So he's getting like power-packed protein. And I was asking her a little bit how she was doing it, and she's so smart. So when she's done making it, I think she does a gallon at a time. No, it's 4 cups. She does 4 cups at a time. There's only 2 of them. So after she strains it, when she goes to make her new one, if she doesn't need more, she takes that and sticks that in the fridge. And much like the sourdough starter, it goes to sleep. So she leaves it in the fridge as, a week, whatever. And when she needs to make more, she takes it out, puts it in her cabinet or on her counter for 24 hours, and then starts the process all over again. It is super easy.
Love to try
totally beneficial. Yeah. It is good. I've always done it in smoothies. I'm a baby when it comes to stuff like that.
I was going to say, it just tastes better to me in a smoothie. Straight, but I don't eat my yogurt plain either.
Right. But we just stick it with frozen fruit in a blender. And if you want to add some honey or stevia or whatever, and it's delicious. And we used to freeze them and make kefir pops. So take that smoothie mixture and make kefir
We've done the
pops.
ice cubes before where we use it in the smoothie later with the frozen. Yeah.
So I looked it up. You probably knew the answer, but so the kefir, I was curious if the bacteria goes through the lactose which it is significantly reduced in lactose.
Yes.
So I'm not a milk consumer in general because I do have issues with the lactose in milk.
Right.
But it does say that it uses it up, not completely, but mostly. So I'll have to give it a try.
Because we're doing water kefir right now, and unlike water kefir where you're feeding it sugar,
the milk has the sugar.
the milk has the sugar. So it really eats all that. That's the food. It's like the flour in the sourdough starter. That's its food. And by the time you drink it,
it's not sweet. And probably
it's not
it's
sweet.
got to have a much lower sugar impact.
Yeah, it's much lower, and you just add what you want to it. My husband would just drink it straight. That's not me. I like some frozen strawberries and whip it up.
I
and
like peaches.
Peaches would be delicious.
Yeah.
So much along the same lines as with ice cream. Now, Christy, your father-in-law is like the ice cream guru.
He has started now that he just got married. So his new wife is more the ice cream. And but we've made ice cream for years. It's heavy cream.
So along the same lines of
basic ingredients, and we've always made it in an ice cream maker. So we've never been as ambitious as to like hand crank that for hours. We have enough people. We could probably just trade out assembly line it, but no.
Mason jar.
I didn't get to try it just because of my milk stuff, but everybody said it was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Again, peaches like the favorite though. Yeah. There's something about the cream and the peaches, but
That's awesome. Elaine, has your family made ice cream?
Oh, yeah. We keep ours in the freezer. I don't know how yours is. Ours has to stay in the freezer, has to be cold when you use it. So we just leave it in there and we make all sorts of ice cream. Sophia is my ice cream connoisseur. So she'll add lavender. She's done strawberry basil and all sorts of ice cream. It's wonderful. It's delicious.
Well, I'm excited to try with the raw milk in the summer. So I don't normally consume actually a lot of the things that we talked about today. I usually don't consume it because I have lactose issues, and cheese doesn't have the same effect. It doesn't have the same quantity of lactose. So all of the things that we're talking about that are typically like liquidy, it's weird. Like things that have more liquid tend to have it. So interestingly enough, and what we'll be talking about next week is the difference between...
Because the A2 proteins. And,
the A2 protein is huge, which you can get A2 protein milk pasteurized. So I know Whole Foods carries it. I'm sure there are other stores. Maybe
I'm sure Jungle Jim's does.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not quite as big.
And if you're not familiar with A2 protein milk, we're going to talk a lot about it next time.
I've been literally having to bite my tongue this whole episode.
I know, because we're so excited
to talk about it.
But
we're going to wait.
We are going to wait.
We're going to be patient.
Same thing with we're gonna talk about the differences in the raw milk and pasteurized. But I have been able to, for the first time, like in my whole life, sit down and eat a cup of whipped cream or yogurt and all the things, and I feel perfectly fine. So. Stay tuned.
And you want to listen to that episode again? I'm biting my tongue because if you have children with different, like let's say ADHD issues, which we have had some of that, this actually will help, and we'll talk about that a bit.
So much that goes into. Yeah, it's very good. So join us when we dive into our raw milk episode. We know it is very controversial. Our goal isn't to like sway you to give up, you know, one for the other. But until it became the reality for us to even,
be able to herd share.
Herd share. We didn't really consider it as even something possible. And actually what's interesting is, there's like low pasteurization and depending upon what state you're in, like it's available to you. So it is worth talking about, at least considering both sides of the table on it. So we're excited to talk about that next week. But guys, try something this week. If you've never made yogurt or, whipped cream make your heavy cream into your whipped cream into your butter. Like it is just fun. I mean, it really
even
is
just
fun.
for science. Like, a child seeing it go from the cream. I mean, it is Well, quick tip. It happens fast. Like if you're making whipped cream, you better watch it because it will be butter and they're going to be putting butter on your pudding. No, I don't like that.
No, but the butter is delicious.
Yes.
Right.
So good. Okay, well, that wraps up our episode for today. I think we've exhausted all things dairy.
Yes. But if you try any of these things, please tag us in your stories so that we get to see what y'all are up to.
I know it's very exciting. We love to see everything online, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm always forgetful of all the things that we are. We have our lovely young daughters who are like the marketing machine.
All of it.
I'm still on Facebook. Does that make me old from the 1900s?
So long ago. We love reading your comments. They're very sweet. We enjoy them every week. And we can tell that you guys must be sharing with your friends. So we're very appreciative of that as well. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you guys next week.
Thanks.
Bye.